Anyway, we've been yapping. I like yapping, but we do have some games to play, and God, I'm frazzled. I'm not speaking terribly well today. I'm sorry, but we can have something like a magic-esque gun. Yeah, we have that in Heroes, Braidlebeak. Only almost 30 minutes, no gameplay. Don't forget Core Quest. Right, hey. Core Quest. Hey, Ryan or Chew, could you post a message and then pin it forever? Thank you. Almost 30 minutes, remember your bread. Yeah, just post it with oh yeah, a Nightbot. I'll just hang on. I'll just do this. Already pinned the bot message. Yeah, but it's there we go. There we go. Okay. It'll just get called if my bot message is too long to be pinned, so I'll just do it like that. Anyway, Oh, actually, you know what? Oh, we're unstable. My average stream bit rate is too high. Love it. Thank you. Very cool. Go make your bread. I'm gonna make my bread. I'm gonna run an ad, and then we're gonna play FE8. Okay, great. You guys are great. Thanks for yapping with me. I'll be right back. I just totally forgot to run a timer. But okay, bread's making. We're good. Anyway, Sacred War. We're probably gonna finish it today. Maybe, hopefully, probably. We have 2 chapters left, 2.5 chapters left. And we have Amelia. So let's ready, let's study, and let's juggernaut. Sacred War. Just kidding. Redux. Buddy, look, Amelia kind of carried in that too, if you think about it. Yeah, I know. FE8 Reforged. FE8 Reforged. It's like FE8, but Reforged. We're gonna finish the end of it here. Didn't you say 30 minutes? Yeah, I did say 30 minutes. Honestly, that's fine. You don't need to wait 30 minutes. It's just helpful. Okay. Yeah, we did the district stuff already. It's fine. Okay, you set a timer that's still 9 minutes away. That's fine. 30 minutes is just like, I knew it would be enough. 15's fine too. Who is Hero? He's not anyone who can interact with. He gleaned Rainbow Spear, Garm, Nidhogg. Is Garm busted with no durability? So you might not have been here for a hot minute, but all of the Sacred Twins have been given new effects. Garm has Swordbreaker. So basically with Garm, you're basically weapon triangle neutral at the worst. You still take the +3 damage from swords, but like, you're pretty okay. Vidofnir has a just super, or sorry, not Vidofnir. Vidofnir is a fire sweep lance. Nidhogg is a super crit bow. Evaldi sucks, so we're not using it. And how do you not have S rank? My god. And Odhalma has Vantage. There we go. Excalibur has Canto. Okay. I just fell asleep. It happens. Okay, you got a longbow. You got a longbow. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Time for the end, sorta, kind of. Just wait till you get old? Yeah, wait until you hit 25. Ooh. That's when you start collecting debuffs. Infinite durability is pretty great. Here's the thing. I think that, yes, trying to backport infinite durability to games that had durability will require you change some things, and it might have some growing pains. But there is nothing interesting about buying 200 hand axes because you don't know when next you'll be able to. I do not think durability adds anything substantially interesting to Fire Emblem outside of usually 3 cases. Either your early game killer weapon, your early game silver weapon, or in the case of games like FE6, the legendary weapons. Every other instance of durability is just, it's just stats. It's just a statistical reward for hitting a weapon rank threshold, and like you have to balance that against the money you have to spare. I think by and large the changes, oh, I like the palette change here. The changes made to accommodate the infinite durability here were mostly smart. There are some stinkers, but there's nothing that's, God, his portrait creeps me out. There are some stinkers, but they're not like terrible. Are you the only one that has the stream title over the stream video? time for joy or sorrow. Actual job or WTF? I think black text is used for the spirits of Roland and Durban, and I think as like an echoing voice for Nurgle before he appears. It's awful darkness, yeah. Okay, so this is the big battle. This is your victory or death for FE8, except we have Amelia, so we're just gonna Unga and we're gonna Bunga, and there's nothing they can fucking do to me. End turn, eat glue. Yeah, they didn't stop me, so what I'll do. What even are the Monokeets in Magville? They're just a race. They're just... I don't know if you'd consider them a monstrous race, but like... They are just a long-lived race that assisted humans in sealing away the Demon King. FE8... Here's the thing. I shit on FE6 a lot because I think it's FE1 if the serial number is filed off, but I think FE7 benefits a lot from just like... having that assumed knowledge in its world building. Durability on the lower end weapons is mainly a UI issue, an option to pay and repair if a couple button presses would mostly fix it. I guess, but then you just turn combat into a matter of like managing income, and I think there are more interesting uses for the money that you have access to than just like, okay, I just want to keep repairing this one weapon that I'll use all the time. Hey, all right. That's a good CG. All right, so we got 14 here, which means bring Cyrene, and we would bring you, but hold on, we didn't have any space. You know what? Do I have a Master Seal? I don't think I do, but if I did... I don't. Okay, well, you're staying unpromoted. Womp womp. Or bring Soleil. Cyrene good? Cyrene's very good. She just has big hurdy stats. Which makes sense given that she's like... basically your last recruit unit. Instead of joining at level 1, she joins at level 12 and she has like stats that support it. Oh, wait. Calm here. Oh yeah, you could instantly de-level her if you really wanted to. Yeah, we could instantly de-level Amelia. Fuck. Ah, man, I love glue. Yummy. That's not General. Yeah, but she's pretty good in Sentinel. I promised I would. You just simply have not been here. You've not been here for all the shenanigans. Yeah, on the point of weapons being repaired, you could argue that any weapon obtained without gold is effectively cheaper than repeatedly repairing common weapons. I just don't think... That is a way you can go about it, and it's valid. I just don't think it's that interesting, comparatively speaking. Okay, let's see what we got here. Steel. Oh! Alright! Alright, Dead Lords, I fuck with this, you know. canonically, we can resurrect corpses. That works. I don't actually hate this. Oh. Oh, damn, girl, you don't look so good. You look like you need a nap. You look like I need to fucking murder you immediately. You look like I'm gonna warp Amelia over to you turn 1 and kill you. Didn't even give my man more of a Deadlord portrait. Ah, okay, so that's how they're dealing with Mir. So you can use Myr up to this point for 50 uses of her Dragonstone, and then you'll get the Soul Stone eventually, which will kind of tide her over for the rest of it. With 1 map left, yeah, sure, but like it does at least give her an upgrade. Man, what an uninteresting character. I'm sorry, what an uninteresting character. You have 14 AS, cool. Where's Glenn? I guess realistically, no one would know, no one save for Valter would know where Glenn's corpse is. Such an amazing design though. I mean, yeah, woman pretty, more at 11. There was another wyvern with a boss icon. Actually, wait, was that not Cormag? Or was that not? Oh shit, it is Glenn. Okay, I just thought that was Valter again. No, okay, we're fighting Glenn too. I guess he didn't bring his head to Cormag. I guess he just brought like the corpse, the mangled corpse. Damn, if I was using Cormag, that would be a very interesting boss conversation. All right, honestly, at a cursory glance, I think all of these changes are good. However, I am not dealing with a berserk staff, so I'm going to fucking warp. You cannot stop me. What are those A-rank weapons supposed to be? I think they're just 1-2 rangers. Like super light brand, super rune axe, the blight lance, the Luna lance, and then just like dark spikes. To be clear, I'm not like cheesing the entire map. However, well. Okay, so warp is... Okay, so I need to get you... Are all the monsters actually promoted? Are whites promoted? Oh yeah, they're normal moguls and there are normal gargoyles, so no. We are still fighting unpromoted enemies. Okay, well. Can't win them all. Oh my god, god damn it. I really thought we were memeing with the FE7 music, but nope. FE7 music, please clap. All right, we can do that there. Look, to be clear, I am not warp skipping this entire chapter. I am, however, getting rid of this. Ooh, shit. Supply. Did I take the axe lever? I just want it for myself. Let's do this. Let's see if I can... Damn it. Alright, I can't turn 1 warp you, which... Okay, we'll just do it turn 2. That's fine. How much magic does Molder have? Only 18, so it's a range of 9. Also, I'm kind of surprised that that's the theme we're using for Kellic here. Hikers, alright. I could have just poked you with a longbow. Happens soon. is Reeves' backstory that he was bullied? He was excommunicated from the theocracy of Roston as a bishop. Also, yeah, in vanilla, he just escapes after the siege on Roston, even if you take him down. He's just like, nope, not dying here. Really? Damn. I guess that's what happens when I give all of my kills to Amelia. But, like, to be fair, this is the average Amelia combat forecast, so you can't really blame me. He's canceled for his right-wing views, worshipping the Demon King. Okay. I will say I do like this. I do like giving Sieglinde that much utility as being a 1-2 range weapon. Like, I think Ephraim needs it less, but like Erica absolutely needed this. Hey, alright, we can one-shot stuff now. Honestly? Let's not just trivialize this with Amelia. How about that? They're basically the same unit now, truly twins. That's a decision, and it's valid enough. I am still like a big believer in push Erica towards Paladin, Ephraim towards Great Lord, or towards Great Knight, so... You guys don't have halberds, right? Because that would kind of fucking suck, but... Where the Silver Axe is at? I agree, but I mean, GBA Fire Emblem, you'd have to just completely retool how the map is, ideated even. Okay, so... Yeah, fuck it. I have 2 Fortify staves. I can probably use one every turn till the end of the game, and I'll be fine. Look, Selena really only gets a pass because she's pretty. That's it. You know what? I should probably, probably get a restore staff, just in case. God, imagine if I, like, actually trained Colm. solves the initial vanilla pitfall of making monsters non-threatening fodder. Like, that's fine for some maps where, like, their numbers are the issue, but, like, this late in the game, I think you should be making squads that, like, present a challenge to approach. Awakens Mustafa was scum of the earth as far as... What? That's certainly an opinion. One I often hear, but... Are those unpromoted Biggles? Yes, they are unpromoted Biggles. I will say, I do not like this map for one pretty important reason. Everyone just gets choked at the beginning. Like, there is only one front to approach the enemies, and there's not really any means to, like, do so with more than 1 or 2 units. Like, I'm pretty sure that I think at this point, if you're gonna have a map like this, just have split deployment. Give all of your units something to do, because, like, there are only so many units that can serve as frontliners. Oh, that is about the worst fucking thing that could possibly have happened. All right, so she has my restore. My only restore. Actually, wait. God bless you, Molder. Holy fuck, we're good. All right, this is the first time I'm using Latona. Oh boy. Hang on, never punished. Okay, technically speaking, there was no situation where I didn't have an out there. Either Erica gets berserked and I don't have access to one Latona, or Amelia gets berserked and I don't have access to restore. Wow, what a boss. Doesn't Ephraim have a convoy too? You know what? I'll be honest, I have just been, like, eating glue with Amelia. I kind of forgot how any other unit works. Solar Brand, cool. Yeah, the Dead Lords don't have... Nope, it's whichever Lord you choose that has the convoy. Ephraim can have a convoy if you choose him to be your main Lord, but... Don't want to do that. Hey, Kari. Was almost punished. But, you know, alas. Also, goddamn. I have 23 res and 30 I don't remember how Staff Avoid is calculated, but that had to have been a very unlikely connection. That gets me down to 31. Infinite use bolting is kind of silly. Yeah, it's fun, but like, I'm gonna be honest, I think bolting is one of those things that if you're gonna keep it in the game, you either make it enemy only, which I guess you can't do because Forge is a thing, or you give it durability. This, yes, which means that's 32 damage, which means bolting. All right, you're getting your Erica kill. Wait, you're kidding me. Mage Knight gets the funny hat? Also, that's not a correct palette. I could probably just like... The unpromoted moguls are not a threat. Well, you'd think that, but like, they are given... A lot of the unpromoted enemies we're seeing are just given a shitload of stats. The only thing that's like an actual difference is their weaponry. Okay, so we do that, and then we... 21... 15... Oh yeah, you're fucking dead. Alright, well. Yes. Is that the palette for Marissa? Yeah, that's her Swordmaster palette. But does everyone get 1-2 range? Look, the only character that I think needed 1-2 range was Erica on Sieglind. Like, straight up, this is a good choice. I don't know if 15 might is the way to, like, you could maybe make Sieglind the 1-2 range and Siegmund the big fuck-off damage lance, and you'd have, like, a decent enough distinction between the two. All right, you're here. Where's the storm bow? You have the storm bow. I kill. I'd really rather everything be 1 range or 2 range without in-betweeners for balance. I mean, I think the Fates route is the most... I don't know... The most, elegant solution that we've gotten, but, like, in a situation where you're still gonna have GBA hand axes and javelins, but not, like, adopt the Kodachi or something, yeah, you kind of just have to. You gotta give swords something, because, like, they can't be the worst at literally everything. I mean, they can, and they oftentimes are, but they shouldn't be. Okay, hang on. Hammer. Hammer should also be effective against whites. Just hear me out. It's bludgeoning damage. It's a hammer. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And base Sacred Stones is essentially 21 might. Essentially it's doing a lot of heavy lifting given that it's an effective weapon, so if it was actually 21 might, that shit would be disgusting. Kill the whites with the okay, no. Okay, no. Thanks for ruining the eventual VOD, chat. No, I said the VOD word, so Noose is gonna say. Yeah, there it is. I said eventual. Anyway, take the. You will have season 5 before the end of the week. This shouldn't exist. Yeah, you'll have season 5 before the end of the week. Quote me on that. Oh, fuck it. You'll have... Should have all of it by me. Oh, you know what? I should have traded you Sieglinde. Actually pin the submission link? Yeah, you know, after you do this a billion times, you start learning. The bot message, because it's so long, it gets cut off on certain devices. So I just made something shorter that the link should still be visible. No longer a novice? Yeah, you're slinging bolting every turn. I can't believe it. You just gave... Actually, Jesus. You gave me 2 boltings. Potentially more than 2 boltings. I could just have, like, an army of siege tomes, and there's nothing that anyone could do about it. I mean, I am the man of the family. I'm gonna be helping you out. Ah. You know, Tethys has mostly good supports. She is just, like, hard nerfed by the archer support. Holy shit. That's all anyone ever talks about. Abyssal Bloodline Rev? What even is that? That mogul's just chilling while we're having a conversation. Why battlefield supports are dumb? I agree. I think moving supports to be triggered in bases was a very good decision. There are very few supports in GBA Fire Emblem that would need to be amended if you just did them in preps. Dudes out here, man, war is kind of cool sometimes. I mean, I don't know, that's like fairly realistic. If you had warfare drilled into you since you were a kid and like the glory of battle and victory being instilled as virtues, yeah, you'd probably have something similar to that. GBA supports are good. Ooh, alright, yeah, we're not gonna put you in that fucking range, Jesus. When a fan game randomly swaps from base support combos to battlefield support combos halfway through the game. I cannot think of a single title that has done that. Moro's Golden Country. You sure hits like a wet noodle? Honestly, I think that's fine. I think Vanessa is a perfectly balanced unit. Well, like, okay, maybe not perfectly balanced. Very well balanced. I just think Tana overperforms. But I guess the problem with being able to grind GBA supports so quickly is that, honestly, GBA supports are really fucking strong. They are really, really strong. And if you have access to them, like, super early, well... Oh, wow. Okay. What are we dealing with here? Why is the water purple? Evil. Evil water. Yeah, no, FE6 supports are genuinely fantastic. Like, there are a couple of stinkers, but like, by and large, the quality of FE6 supports are very, very high. I put my bread in. It's cooking. Lances and bows should be effective on moguls. FE6 supports quality. No, I'd like... I know you're a bit of a contrarian, but I will hold this. FE6 supports are pretty damn good, actually. Echidna exists, genuine void of a character. That's fine. She has a goal. She's not terribly, like, deep, but, like, she's consistent. Like, hey, I'm strong. I want to try and rebuild my nation. Help me do that. They really should have given this dude a Philly shield, because I'm about to blow his ass up. I think most of the FE6 supports are bad. See, now I gotta figure out as to... Now I have to, like, actually think, like, okay, am I just remembering the good ones? Because, like, the good ones are very good. Okay, so... 28, 30, cool, get rid of you, then. Okay, let me put it this way. I think most of, like, old people in FE6 get good fucking supports. Dayan, Yoder, and Nime, great shit. Love it. What kind of bread are you making? Just normal, like, white bread. buddy of mine is allergic to pretty much everything, so... Ah! Oh, that's a cool portrait. Oh, and you're gonna... The question is... Oh. Okay, 86, that's... Stat boosters on chapter 21. Oh, even better, stealable stat boosters. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna summon, so for the sake of accidentally not getting jump scared, I think I'm gonna hold off a turn. I don't think they're gonna summon anything. I believe they'll summon something. Why the fuck are you on this map? Maybe these eyeballs just exist as, like, Gale Force beacons. Okay, I can just move up, like, here. I think that class card is from Sacred Echoes. It looks like Cantor's. Class card looks good. No. That was a reinforcement to represent summoning. Okay, so like all three of these guys like made the Giga Zombie that has 8 AS and 4 defense. Cool. Here's one thing I think should almost assuredly change. Brave Lance should not be B and should not be enemy phase Brave. Holy shit. Monsters are missing class skills, right? I think so. Enemy phase Brave is stupid. I think you can design a weapon that's meant to, like, auto double... Like, not enemy phase Brave, but, like, you can make a quick riposte weapon. Death Foil stats. And Dex. Carefully don't shoot the Speedwing. I'm gonna shoot the Speedwing. 17 hit. Oh baby, it's time to game. That is... 4, one shear. You deal with you. Here. Next turn. You know, I'll keep that one in the pocket. Rise Above is gone. Actual goated FE8 map music. I like FE8's music. This feels like it's regressed to regular FE8 in terms of difficulty. I would agree. I think most of the difficulty changes came in the early game. girl, you'll just do 33 damage to me. I don't want to do that. Doubling of bolting. That's how we do. Okay, my avoid is 87. Avoid 102. 102 avoid. Realistically, I shouldn't be hit by anything. But you're still scary, so we're gonna just deal with you. What am I getting nailed by? Getting hit by a longbow and That's 83 hit. Yeah, I'll be honest, if I had 2 mages, if I had trained loot, I could pretty much just take care of any monster from range. I don't think infinite bolting was a good idea. I normally only say this in respect to, like, bow range that tends to go above 3 range, but, like, giving the player ways to regularly engage at combat greater than a, like, 2 range, it's usually not a good idea. It breaks map design. Unless you were specifically designing around that, which this game did not. Nice job, Glenn. All right, Wyvern Lord. Move aside for a real class. You go get it, Fem Sword Master. Well, someone just had an accident in the parking lot. Hopefully that's not my car. Those Deadlords have been ass too. They have not been threatening at all. Part of it is that the player power is really, really strong. Like, Vaulter could reasonably have been difficult, but like, Kellic spawns within bolting cheese range and within range of any flyers that have like 2 range, so you can just like invalidate him. They also don't have threatening. Yeah, like, you can't make a boss threatening on their own for the most part. If you want a boss to be threatening, you need to surround them with, like, other units that will make approaching them more difficult. Where, like, pulling the boss will have you eat a bunch of shit from other units, or you have to player phase a bunch of units rather than just a few. This is Lunatic, yes. Also gives you free skills. Look, to be clear, I think Lunatic difficulty was very well done in early game. Oh no, Colm can't talk. Pierce 2 times, Blight Lance, 33. You have 136 hit. I mean, you could feasibly hit, like, do damage to me. Look, here's the thing, like, I'm not even gonna throw this on Strudel because it is hard. It is a lot easier to balance a game in the early game when you know exactly what resources the player will have access to. I think you could solve things a little bit by implementing Fate's growths. So you just could not be X number of levels above. Chat, we're still in the Speedwing. Okay, just 114. Okay, these guys are actually a little threatening. Yeah, that is an annoying thing about Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem in particular has that problem, because the player could feasibly have just played like ass and stumbled their way to the end of the game, and the devs don't want the player to get soft locked, so we're fine here. A lot of vanilla FE games, maybe bad players can just eat shit. I don't hate that, honestly. I do think it is valid that, like, because you can soft lock in most Fire Emblem games to a point that's unsalvageable. Modern games let you downgrade your difficulty if you'd otherwise get soft locked. Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to... I think you could feasibly get soft locked in 3 houses, like something by Daybreak or what have you, but... Ouchies. Get rid of Stormbow you. Good Stormbow you. Is Awakening unsoft lockable by technicality? The Falchion's unbreakable, so... Technically, I don't think you can get soft locked in Awakening because you have the ability to grind, and you can always go back to grind in an easier place. You can be soft locked in Awakening. Wouldn't you have to be soft locked before you have access to any grinding stuff? Because you can't run out of weapons, you can't get rid of the Falchion. Even if Crom is due to garbage trash, I'm pretty sure you'll always have the ability to go, well... On an early map by running out of a weapon. Crom has the Falchion, though. Falchion does not have durability. And no trained up Crom. That's... fair. I guess you don't have access to skirmishes right off the bat. And yeah, you could just, like, get lucky forehead. I don't know, how do I deal with these 3? Because I can't quite kill them, and... Stormbow you. Bravebow you. Bravebow you. Okay, so we can go here, which means I have to attack from here. Stormbow you, and just longbow you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm getting hit by one of you. Unless I can somehow am I doing this? I can just run away and be fine, and honestly, that's what I might just do. Yeah, fuck it. I don't want to think anymore. We're just gonna run away. As much as I want to be able to player phase through this, it's like I'm not being punished for not doing it. I mean, even back attack reinforcements wouldn't be all that threatening given the layout of this map. Freelance, Sax Reaver, 29, 29. I have like 20, oh, yeah, 23 defense already. Yeah. Sure. Why not? Yeah, I don't think you can soft lock an awakening. Okay, well, for that being like a 3-man summon, boy, that was underwhelming. Just sort of exploded. I get that them not having defense is like the purpose, but... Like, I should have had Awakening Counter? No. No, Awakening Counter is genuinely like the worst skill to ever exist. I hate it so much. The enemy will just like... They basically strap an IUD to themselves and just run at you. And there's nothing you can do, because you can't tell your unit, hey, if you attack this guy, you will die. Yeah, you know, the sad thing is that, like, this is so much more effective than having to, like, meticulously plan out my Stormbow uses and trying to, like, barely reach kill thresholds. Yeah, just throw funny Femmer with 1-2 range on Forest and Weapon Triangle be damned. I do it. So you understand why Virion is top tier in Lunatic? Yeah, no, I do. Why Virion's good, why Crom's good. What? Hang on, my heater was going off for some reason. Unequipping your weapon? I mean, yeah, you can do that. It's just not very intuitive since you can't do it mid-turn. You have to just choose to do it before you can do anything. I'm telling you, someone on the Fae dev team really liked Lunatic Plus, and that's why Crom gets a bunch of Archer alts. Like, I get it. Archer is in his default class list, but like the man promotes and gets spears. All right, at least Lucina has been given bows and like a bunch of spin-off shit, like Project Cross Zone, Warriors. I can't really use Fae as justification for Fae, but like I think Lucina has more ties to bows than Crom does. Or they like Apotheosis, true. Okay. We gave her Parthia and Engage as well. Here's the thing, I think giving Lucina Parthia is actually a really fucking cool move. I like that. It's like, yeah, at least it's just Arcanea in the far-flung future. Why not? Why not give, like, Lucina Parthia? Because, like, Awakening has a bunch of legendary weapons that are just reference weapons that shouldn't really be there, but... By all rights, the Parthia, like... Assuming it's, like, a legendary weapon that'll last the test of time, like, it could reasonably remain. Where the fuck was Gradivis? I think the problem you have there is that... what is it? Is it Nothung? Is Nothung legendary Lucina's weapon? Either way, I think if they were going to give legendary Lucina a lance, they probably would have gone the route of... Oh, Nothung is TLP. Whoops. Sorry, too hack-brained. Thogan, thank you. If they were going to give Lucina a lance, I think they would have given her Gear Skogul from her Brave. Given that, like, for better or for worse, Fusion Legends 1 is a level of iconic. No, I can kill you. All right, we'll do that. Double checking, I can kill you, right? I'd have to do it, like, here, but I can. Cool. Gear Skogul, the Gold Knight overclass in Sov. No, Gear Skogul is your Dragoon laser ability from the hit MMO Final Fantasy XIV. Wait, do you have a fucking sport? Really? Alright. Have you seen a scary looking woman? Oh yeah, Skogul is what you're thinking of. Gear Skogul is legendary, or Brave Lucina's lance. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, like, I think they probably would have gone for that over Gradivis, since, yeah, Gradivis makes sense from, like, an Arcanine lore perspective, but... And it makes sense from, you know, it is a lance that Lucina could use as a promo... Honestly, the more I say it, the more I think, yeah, you should have just given her the Gradivis, because it's also 1-2 range and would fix that problem that she has, so... But they'd probably go Gear Skogul, especially given that the initial mural of all of the lords has Brave Ike and Lucina is using the... You already told me what it was. Thogan in it, so... It's clear that they were referencing heroes in a lot of different ways. Home is dumb as fuck? Yeah, a little bit. Luna Tome versus Luna Dagger. Who wins? Me. Oh, I can just Duskblade you. Cool. Maybe the Duskblade hits physical. This sure is a map. Yeah, this is honestly just kind of vanilla FE8. There are some changes, but the changes do not keep pace with all the power you're giving the player. Yeah, Actually, wait, that's a good point. Why were... I mean, I know you can't talk while silenced. You can't, like, recruit someone to talk. I don't think I've ever seen the case where I've tried to support GBA while silenced, because GBA supports are slow as hell. Is that just vanilla behavior? Genuinely, I don't know. ...27, 28, 29... Yeah, okay, we're just... Pretty sure in base GBA you can't support while silenced. I mean, given that they made... I know that you can't talk while silenced, because I've been screwed over by that before, but... Because it's so hard to do supports, I genuinely just could not remember. I did initiate it with Colm. Maybe that's why. Because I think while Colm is silenced... Yeah, no. So Colm was silenced, but Hyde will clear his status every turn. Yay, finally, we get this theme. I am just gonna 3-shot this man at bolting, huh? No, he's just supposed to have, like, really puffy eye bags. Which, honestly, that is just a thing older people get. I don't think it's that much of an abstraction. Someone thought infinite bolting was okay. It is an edge case of the infinite durability system. I think that's something that you either don't give a player, which is hard because you have a forge staff, or you just have that also have uses. Like, again, ultimately, this is, like, Awakening-esque fun in the sense of, I have a Juggernaut and I'm playing a Muso game, but I think a lot of the strategic decisions kind of go away when you just so plainly outstat all of the enemies. Exalted has infinite use siege tomes, but they get a cooldown before you can use it again. Like a turn cooldown or a combat cooldown, because like turn cooldown, you're just gonna lame it out. Turn cooldown. I guess, yeah, maybe you can just lame it out. Here's the thing. Infinite tomes in late game is fun and funny. I don't disagree with that. I think I guess it sounds like I'm complaining, but like I'm more just trying to make observations on potential points of balance. I'm having fun using Ewan as like a mobile nuke, but like I don't know exactly how Strudel is presenting this in a promotional sense. Like, is this supposed to be a true to the original kind of like rebalance upgrade, or is it more just like a lateral side grade to funny stuff? Because I think if you're doing a Redux hack and you're trying to be semi-faithful, I think you're benefited by a little bit of restraint. All I'm hearing is give enemies Mire and Conquest? No. Dude, that shit sucks. I did not enjoy that about Awakening. Chapter 21 Mire Hallway, hated that. I hated that so much first time I played Awakening. I mean, I don't know if it's 21 or 22, or I don't remember, but I know the chapter you're talking about, and it's not fun. Yeah, on normal, it's fine, because you outstat the enemies to the point where it doesn't matter, but like on anything above that, yeah, it'll hurt. The more you think about it, the less you like Awakening. I've just come to the conclusion, like, Awakening is a game I really enjoy to remember and I have great respect for as a love letter to the franchise. I think it has a lot of soul. I think it introduced a lot of new mechanics that would be refined and will be ended up as some of my favorite things of all Fire Emblem, but like, Awakening is a better RPG than it is a strategy RPG. I think it is a very, very good RPG. I don't think it's like a fantastic strategy RPG. Holy shit, promoted eyeballs. Anyway. The Mire hallway's so bad. You're just getting pelted. You're just getting pelted at what is usually the lower of your two stats. Oh, Hikaru, you've heard me say this more than 10 times. That's like my go-to thing when I'm talking about Awakening. But yeah, great RPG, so-so strategy RPG. Fire Emblem Awakening, only on Nintendo 3DS. What skill does Reeve give? I never looked, so he gives Soulbound. Well, yeah. Hey, Amelia. 31. You know, I could have actually poked you if you went first, because this will probably hit me. I have a Morbillion Fortifies, but I already used Molder this turn, so I actually do need to make sure that Amelia's not getting hit by anything. I'm gonna be real, this was not even with that much favoritism. Oh, or I could just fucking do that. Sure, that works. Go get him, green-haired Fiora. Not much faith. Let me put it this way. For the amount of stats she has, like... I feel like I should have had to put way more work in to get this at level 15. Yeah, I gave the Metis Tome to her, what, 5%? She's rocking Ellawood growth, all right? She is a walking Ellawood who turned into a nuclear Ellagood. Do that and then we'll dance from you. And that'll solve the problem. God, I love the Astra animation. Wait, someone played this without playing FE7 and was wondering, oh, where's this new music from? That is actually a little funny. Oh shit. Two spacey shit. Alright, that's a problem. Do 12 damage to you. I could Stormbow. I mean, I can Stormbow for you anyway, but I could Stormbow and then move down here, kill you. Yeah, okay, we're fine actually. I'm worrying about like the worst possible case scenario when it doesn't particularly matter. Is Ewan gonna... No, Ewan's already at S rank. It's just like, he doesn't need to use Excalibur because he has bolting. It's like the rationale of giving Soren like a forged bolting rather than like Rex bolt or something. Or, sorry, Rexcalibur. Actually, first let's check if we like kill, because we might. Okay, cool. We can kill Morva this turn. Implying you would ever use Soren. Look, I own Path of Radiance. I am indeed gonna get the funny conversation. You can't stop me. Okay, do you give a skill? Death Breath. Two times 4 and... Oh, that would be a really good Ewan skill, actually. You know, that's such a potentially good Ewan skill that I'm... Yeah, so we can't give Ewan that. Somehow. Does it matter that much? It doesn't matter at all. I'm sorry, why everything into the dark? I'd like to point out I could have ended this like an hour and a half ago. I could have just like Unga Bunga Amelia. But I wanted to try and like engage with this map as it seems to want to be engaged with. And yeah, no. The juice was not worth the squeeze there. Got a stall to increase stream time. I mean, we're kind of on a timer. I got 2 hours left. 2.5 hours, more or less, before I gotta go. Oh wow, that'd be really scary if it like could hit me. Why is Marissa glowing? She's silenced. Okay. All 3 of you. We move you here to kill all of you. Okay, now we just need to get Erica to the end and we're good. I'll be honest, I don't really think there's much benefit to making, what's his name? Otto a dead lord? Like, I'm a big proponent of having Uther or Elbert be a dead lord in FE7. Mostly because Nurgle just like straight up in Hector hard mode, just like, hey, what if I like revive your brother? Wouldn't that just be a little fucked up? It would be fucked up. You should do it. Great. And you know, it makes sense. Here, it just kind of feels like they're resurrecting their own troops for the sake of having more powerful fodder. Okay, well. Resurrecting troops from powerful fodder is a strat. Yeah, I agree. Just like, there's no real reason to do it to Fado. Wait. I mean, yeah, the Demon King's like one to twist the knife, but I don't know. The knife twisting stops with Leon, really. And like, I can see the stats of the creature campaign units. Fado is not that impressive. What are animations on anyways? I don't know. We got 2 chapters and I gotta fill 4 hours, right? What do you want from me? You want speed? You want me to hold L and have it skip the animations? I actually did not check if that patch is in the game. It's not. Super 3, so that's what you want. You're not getting it. Wow, what a hard-fought battle. Just kidding, more FE7 music. We're gone. This is the Black Temple. The Demon King is Promise Breaker. I played Super Thracia. Oh, the final map. You sent me it? Okay, yeah, no, that one's fair. That one's fair, that's on me. Forgetful streamer, you've been here for years, you should know this. I like Vanilla Thracia. It's mean, but it's good. Erica, don't come. It's all ready. Yeah, this is why Erica route's better. Okay, final chapter. Let's just blitz through it. We have an Amelia, and we have a warp. So, not route split, but rather... You're not Idune? I'm pretty sure we have multiple arrangements of Leon's theme. Wants to confess your love, says I can't be your brother, sus. I mean, yeah, honestly, the messaging's a bit odd. Yeah, this one's FE8 music. I'm pretty sure this is I think it's what? Lost Heart or something? Leon's like, it's an arrangement of his battle theme and like the ominous like, you know, it's, but I think it only plays in this scene normally. Yeah, there you go. It's an arrangement of the, like... I guess this is more the Demon King's theme than it is Leon's, but, like... Yeah, you were hearing an arrangement of this theme. I prefer that bit of Leon and Ephraim route because it genuinely feels like he's crushing on Ephraim, which is objectively better than I want to marry you, Erica, but I'm not your brother. I think what you're supposed to take from that is... Leon loves Erica, but... he finds himself lacking compared to Ephraim. And, like, basically, he has a direct point of comparison for, like, hey, this is what an impressive man should be. I don't measure up. I am going to become a man worthy of your love, basically. The implication is not, oh, Erica, you and your incest weapon love your brother, and I have to beat him out. No, the idea is just, like, hey, I see Ephraim, and I see a man I can't measure up to. Like, why would you pick me when, like, you have reference for what a strong man should be in your brother? Okay. Naglifar, sleep. Okay, let's see how we can do. Alright, chat. Let's see if I can't get this done. So... you have 21 AS. You have like 28 defense. I would need to hit for 48 damage. Chat, we're one rounding Leon. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, that's like even better. It's 5 just to stop the way down. Okay, so we have a Blight Lance, so we do 40 damage, and let's see. So we do 40 damage, and you can't mitigate it, and you have 80 HP, and you have less AS than me, and I can haste you, and I can warp you. Okay, so here's the plan. I get Amelia in here. And yeah, no, that's a Silver Sword. Out of Forge. It's an S-rank tome whose only benefit is being 1-3 range. Which, hey, it's good that it's 1-3 range given that Namie exists. But the chest, but nothing. At this point, I kind of think it's more fun to realize that I can barely reach the threshold. It's like, hey, wow, that's super cool. That's just 40 attack. If I hasted Amelia, she just will do 160 damage, and there's like nothing that can stop it. Oh yeah, gotta get the vanilla master seal, of course. With pure water, I do, okay. Off here. Actually, you know what? Wait, 15. Just end the game. That's kind of where I'm at. Units. We only get 12, so we're back down. Need more speed. Clearly you. Of all the 3 houses endgames, which... Fuck you ads, it's prep time, sorry. Which one's the best of all of them? I actually don't hate Crimson Flower. Like, Rhea is obnoxious. I don't hate Crimson Flower. I don't think any of them are bad. I think Golden Deers is kind of the most why. But at the same time, I think the design's very interesting of like, hey, you have to weaken this boss by taking out a bunch of sub-bosses. It's more that Nemesis just comes out of nowhere. I don't like Blue Lion's endgame because you're just getting pelted from 20 miles away, and it's kind of hard to determine the rhyme or reason to that. But yeah, it's thematically great. Rune Sword, Silver Lance. So you can't hit for shit until you do hit for shit. Yeah, you know, we'll let these ads play out. In fact, I'm gonna go refill water while I have a second, and then we'll just end this out, shall we? So don't go anywhere, we're due. I'll be back in like a minute. Hey, hi. All right, I'm back. No more Three Houses talk. No more. No more. No, no, no. No Three Houses discourse. No Three Houses discourse in the chat. Oh? Deal talk? The Sovereign Lord of the Undying. He calls upon the spirits of the great legends. Galestig. Cool. Oh. Okay, I mean, it's a 7% chance to just fucking die. En Schoolwacht. Great Drake. Okay, question. I'm not as familiar with FE8's world building as I am other titles. Are these mentioned anywhere? Okay, Amelia is supported by Namie and Ross, so... you have... Stone? Cool. Ewan? Kill her. Oh shit, that actually won't work. Blade, White Lance. I can't warp directly to the boss because I don't have like a giant warp user, but... Well, I didn't even bother to bring Colm, so we'll never know. Yeah, in vanilla, it's just an Earth Seal. I remember that because it's absolutely baffling. It's like the Earth Seal you get from Fargus at the end of FE7. Like, why would you ever need it? Oh, they don't even move. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and look up staff hit rate, because I would like to know. Staff is magic times 5 plus skill plus 30. Oh shit, yeah, that is gonna hit me. Yeah, 'cause your hit rate should be 150... 177. 207. I hate that I have to just look for this. Half a void is... Okay, res times 5. So it would be 30. Okay, so... It's just 22 plus 30. So it's distance times 2. 1, 2, 3. 8, so that would be 16. 36 plus 30. Okay, sleep at minimum will have a 36% chance to hit me. You only get one warp staff, and it doesn't appear that you can get another through forging. Why not? I don't think the Berserk staff should exist, but it's here, so we'll use it. So, right here for pure water. Like, as long as I can get to Leon, I'm good. Oh, fuck. Chad, I think I just killed Erica. Ah! Okay, no, the Blight Lance just does a shitload of damage. Jesus. Oh, it's the Blight Lance. I thought that was the Hex Lance. That's why. Okay. Oh, boy. Greatest use of 5 minutes. I wanted that XP, I guess. Wrong prediction option. Okay, well, I did not realize that there was just going to be an enemy that will do that much damage. Anyway, here you go. Luckily, I didn't start a prediction, so... That was the prediction for last chapter, not this one. We saved, right? Right? Yeah, we saved, okay. Yeah, I just reset because, you know, there were no predictions. Yeah, don't greed out... Now look, that's on me for not realizing that, hey, there's just going to be like a funny Luna Lance, but like... Time to properly use the warp staff. Like, do you have any reason to move up? Honestly, no. I don't really have any reason to move up. XP that won't matter. Yeah, because I can just... Ah, boy. Yeah, I don't really have any reason to interact with this map. Honestly, that was a little funny. I would need 22. So, I would need 22 magic to warp. On a timer? I mean, good. I'm on a timer here too, so... Why don't you just warp turn 2? The steel blade, who cares? Animation's on. It's the final chapter. What do you want from me? I'm not turning off these animations of Amelia, you know, playing Radiant Dawn. Is that a saw fiend on the left? Yeah, it's probably in here just to be in here, which I think is fine, but I think that's something that could have been utilized, like, elsewhere throughout the game if they really wanted to. Even when we're not getting Tellius, we're getting Tellius. Yep. Be 2 minutes quicker? What, you don't want to see this animation over? That was a mistake. Thanks, amazing play, thanks. Third restart, I can make this work. This is gonna be tricky to make things work, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hang on, we can do this. All I need to do is get up here, kill this dude. Amelia has 8 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, dead. All right, cool. Go Gadget Tana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, cool. Go Gadget Tana. Hooray. Isn't she not good? Yeah, so we gotta work on that name. I don't think I want to be saying Porin Quest like 20 times. Ah, I see. Yeah, Tana should just be able to kill here. Yeah, never mind. Leon has more speed. No, he just got a lighter book. Me when Erica dies to exact damage thanks to a Luna Lance. Create the attack boost item that Tana has to Amelia. Oh shit, yeah, I could just do that. I did not account for Amelia supports now. Erica, you don't have the greatest track record recognizing whether or not someone's Leon or the Demon King. The time has come, my resurrection is at hand. I will say, putting the Demon King in Fae was like such a cool move. No one expected it, and certainly no one expected it to be executed as well as it was. That dude looks sick as shit. Weep for the dead. Weep for the dead, Erica. Twice. Cheesy endgame lines. Look, I'm not immune to it. It is a good trope. You should have it in every Fire Emblem game. His voice lines are sick as fuck. Yeah, they are. Honestly, I think Leon has got... Of all of the units in Fae, I think Leon has probably been done the best. Like, yeah, some of his units aren't great, but like... He's got a duo with Ephraim. Let's see, he's got a duo with Ephraim. He's part of like Renee Summer. He's Fallen, he's normal, and he's got like a Demon King version. I like all the versions in Fae. I think it's like Leon and Idun get it very well done. Oh right, the duo of Erica, I forgot about that. Oh right, Child Leon too, I forgot about that. Wait, is the Erica duo the summer duo? No, oh, Valentine's, right. Wow, he has a lot of them. Right, yeah, the one that like broke the game for a while. Sorry, I lobotomized that from my brain. That was not a fun couple of months. Marnie's a null follow-up check? I mean, it's not a null follow-up check. It's a can you get through miracle check. You can't take her out in one. It's the credits image being used in the actual place it belongs. Yeah, no, this hack uses CGs well. And for CGs that don't exist, they insert their own, and they're all pretty well done. It's crazy how anticlimactic this is. I don't think that they started doing final battles. Oh my god, wait. Are you for real, for real? Oh girl, you're for real, for real. Alright, here's the Demon King. Remotus. Okay. It would make sense if you had to do like 2 phases where... Okay, 1 damage or 39 damage. Got a better idea. You do. You do. Welcome back, Athos FE7. You look like a very young girl, but I'm not here to judge. 40 times 4, we can do better than that. Oops. Yeah. What if he has 200 HP? Like I give a shit. Oops. Oops, they gave my training unit 30 luck. That's it. It's over, isn't it? I feel bad. I should have shown off the finishers, because there are, like, specific finishers if Erica or Ephraim get the kill. Because, you know, FE8's just FE2 again, in a sense, so they have, like, the all moment. I will say, like, giving the Demon King more defensive stats is a good thing, but, like, I can just ignore them. Just link the FE3 video. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool as fuck, but, sorry, I'm choosing not to engage with this. It took the might of 5 heroes. It just took one little girl to do it this time. She wasn't even using a legendary weapon. She just swiped something from Valter and, like, had a time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure GBA ROMs start getting... I think you have a chance to underflow if you start going past, like, I think 120. Can't even say it's not like you're Garrett. Yeah, you have Ephraim. He'll have a rank for... I mean, granted, you could just not train him, but... Yeah, this is arguably easier than, like, killing with Athos on the Fire Dragon, given that... I believe there's a chance for the Fire Dragon to roll up enough to where he's one-shots Athos. So you'd need to save an Angelic Robe or something to, like, have Athos be able to do things. Okay, it's 127, the cap. Thank you, Sal. It's only on Hector hard mode, yeah, but, like, that's what most people end up playing. Okay, well, hey, we have a lot of time to, like, kind of go through chapter by chapter, because I know we're kind of ending on a LoL player power versus vanilla FE8, but there is a lot of good here. Let not the cheesy ending make you forget. Like, there are a lot of good things here. Yeah, you have dances to help him not die horribly. Normally, though, you would just fill his might Athos and just kill in one shot. 120, Athos with 30, brought up to 40, and then you crit, you do 120 damage, and you go home. Try the Lugado. Try out the Lagdo Ruins. I don't know why I would always say that incorrectly, like Lugado Ruins. Lugado. But like vulnerary being voluntary, I learned the word wrong as a kid and it just kind of stuck. Like guy as Guy. Or rather, Guy as Guy. Oh, right, Loot's here. Yeah, I remember I benched Loot because she was too strong. Feels like I'm being really brutal saying this, but it kind of fell off after early game. I think a lot of the changes are better felt early game, and the player power was never matched by enemy power past, like, chapter 10 or so. I think the difficulty kept for the first half of the game, and for the latter half of the game, player power started eclipsing what the enemies could throw at you. Yeah, they never had hit. That's like the problem. Enemies didn't have hit rates. Now, granted, I was using arguably the two dodgiest units to trivialize it, that being Marissa with Crimson Flash and Amelia with 30 fucking luck at like a trainee unit. The boss does not have like leadership stars. I don't believe they did, no. Leon had 2? Great, I had a billion hit, didn't matter. Aww. Bye, Seto Kaiba. Okay, we'll go through kind of point by point. I do think, like, what is here, the changes are lateral to good, but I think those changes aren't kept up. We'll go by little, but, like, I never had a bad time with this. And I think that's the important part. Even if it doesn't quite hit the mark at being, like, a full rebalance in the sense of, like, keeping parity between player and enemy units, I had fun. Like, kind of similar to Sacred War. Yeah, sure, I could kind of unga-bunga real hard because you gave me a bunch of options, but, like, I had fun unga-bungaing with Amelia again, but she's not on a Wyvern this time. The fancy proc skills just didn't matter much. They were useful early game. I think, Sure Shot, I think it is, that Archer gets. I think Sure Shot was actually, like, really, that was the only proc skill that I say proc skill, reliable proc skill that I would see often, and oftentimes it would be enough to net me a kill. I used the Erica one like twice. Yeah, the Erica one's really strong, and I guess you could save it to punch through scary bosses, which could be a design direction you go, where it's like, hey, these bosses are tricky enough to where, like, kind of similar to heroes, you need to go into that boss fight with, like, a pre-charge. It shines early game. I will say, the change, I love the change to the weapon triangle. Like, it was a little much when Reavers doubled it in reverse, but, like, the change to the weapon triangle, Joshua is dead because of that. And I think it's warranted. It makes it gives sword units something to do, which is nice. It makes you have to think about your matchups rather than just, like, throwing Mr. Lance at everything or Mr. Axe at everything, because, like, in the early game, there's enough triangle coverage where it's not, like, you can't just unga-bunga. And, more importantly, because bows don't interact with a triangle, promotions that would give sword, like, for example, hero versus warrior. I did not go warrior on Garcia because I thought that, hey, while bow axis is nice, the extra damage I would get and survivability I would get from the addition of swords is enough for me to forego it. 315 or 320 is perfect. Yeah, I agree with that. Weapon stats would do it, but I think a 3 might swing is enough. Like, Fates has a variable triangle, which I think is probably better, but, like, it's just a lot to keep track of. Knowing that it's just plus or minus 3 and then, like, plus or minus 20 I would almost say I prefer that to the Fates one because I don't have to constantly check weapon ranks. I use the Luna Lance. I used the weapon that Orson dropped. I did not use any of the other ones that like the Deadlords dropped. Holy shit, Bill Trennan? Yeah. The district system just feels kind of underused, but I don't know how much you can do with it. I think that could be a way if you want to expand FE8 as like the sandbox skirmish Fire Emblem. I think the districts have, I don't want to say potential, because like it is, I want to say free movement is something that came about in the last 2 or 3 years, right? So it's understandable that you'd want to put it in, and I think the districts are nice for giving extra flavor. Like, hey, there are villagers you can talk to that you don't have to spend action economy to go to. That's nice. I don't really think the OCs add anything. Like, even if you don't have my perspective on, you know, don't add OCs, they don't do a game that already exists. I just kind of don't think they add anything other than being replacement units. Also, I don't know what's up with that. The ending, that's a little wrong. I don't think the unit balancing was great either. Here's the thing. Unit balance can be very easily fixed. Like, again, we'll go over everything. You know, this is a good time to go over. Seth is still Seth. I don't think he was adequately nerfed. We buffed Franz rather than super nerfing Seth. I can't really see how Franz, you know, did anything because I didn't use him because I don't find that all that interesting. I do think that you're better off just, hey, nerf Seth and then just have him recover from his injuries late game or something and just get an Omni stat boost. That way he can function as a Jagan because Seth cannot meaningfully weaken units to get killed by like your weaker units, right? Even with an Iron Sword, he'll just kill everything. And unlike Ember where Marcus had like the Training Lance, there's no such equivalent for Seth. Gilliam didn't really use him. I liked Molder. I think the changes to staff XP make both him and probably Natasha very workable. I know Natasha gets power staff and that's powerful and hooray hurrah, but I have no real complaint about Molder. I like what you did to light magic. I think you need to change Vivaldi. I liked Live to Serve on Molder. That was good. The healer skill I think is interesting, but I don't think it ends up being super necessary. Like, I don't think not having it's like a huge deal. I thought Vanessa was pretty well balanced by virtue of like, hey, Pegasus Knights in games of enemy quality are a balanced class because they just do not have a lot of strength or bulk. And like, that's fine, because you know what? You could use Vanessa as a rally speed bot if you ever needed that, which you don't. I really can't tell about Garcia and Ross. The warrior change is weird. I think some of the sprite choices for captain are a little weird. That entire axe fighter tree could be reconsidered a little bit. Calm. Hide was changed midway through. I think the best way to do it is give him hide, but give it like a 3-turn cooldown or something. Give it like a turn cooldown or probably not a kill cooldown, but like a turn cooldown. And then just as a rogue, give it a lesser turn cooldown and give the if kill then hide sort of deal. That's fine. Artur, you got rid of the divine thing, so I guess it's fine, but like loot exists and just invalidates him. I like his personal skill though, it's useful in the early game. Josh fucking died. Josh lasted 1 turn. But hey, you know what? He did pretty good in that 1 turn. Luke got nerfed. We'll have to see. I'll open up FE Builder and just go chapter by chapter looking at stuff, but yeah. Yeah, he should be passable by enemies when hiding. That would be... Yeah, because you could still have the... I like the utility of being able to time a steal into hide. I think that's good. You would lose light rune access, but like maybe that's something you could give as rogue. I don't think I would hate rogue having mobile light rune. Maybe thief could just be passable, but I don't know how possible that is. Loot prodigy. She had a bajillion stats. She had a personal skill that gave her even more magic. And Anima has a bunch of effective against skills, so she basically had solutions for anything that wasn't infantry. And infantry, she would just unga bunga through. She is back to vanilla recruitment, though. Ford died. I don't like the changes to Ford. I like that they made him... I like that they made Ford and Kyle more distinctly the offensive and defensive calves. But I do think that you are well served keeping unit identity somewhat in parity with like how Fire Emblem has chosen to depict units in other appearances. And Ford is always depicted with a sword. Like, I believe he has a Cypher card, and you know, in Heroes he's got funny wind sword. I think you could maybe... I don't know if everyone needs a promotion branch, but Ford could maybe be Sword Cav into Ranger, and that would be offset by having really cracked offensive stats. Tana has way too good bases and gross for her level. You either make her the Est, or you make her like a retooled sort of Pegasus Knight, but you can't have better stats than Vanessa and like easier training time than Vanessa. It is, honestly, he's just designed to work with Nidhogg, and that's fine. I didn't use him, but like in theory, he seems fine as a player phase delete button. I like how you changed Cyrene since she's the last recruit you get. She was kind of useless in vanilla, and she's actually she's a very good filler unit. I used her. Like, no notes, good job. Amelia's over. Mind you, I used Amelia a lot, and I would have probably been snuffed out were you using the Fates weapon system. The existence of a harpoon and Amelia's really high, like, the really high luck on Amelia, I think, was more of like a, you know, luck doesn't matter that much, so we can just give her a bunch of luck as like a joke. It's like a way to make the unit unique. The problem is, like, luck does not matter unless you have it. You either have a lot of it or none of it, and the enemies don't have a lot of decks. So Amelia had ungodly amount of avoid to the point where even without terrain, I could just invalidate entire swaths of the map. Groth is a secret recruit. I'll be honest, I don't... that's fine. I think of all of the original the character recruits, like, that one is... Groth is at least novel, and he's more like a secret than he is a vanilla thing. Like, hey, you have to get the boss kill with Dazla and then survive an attack. That's more of like an Easter egg than I think an original the character. Dussel's fine. He wasn't significantly changed, though I do want the old Great Knight animation. Mind you, I don't have right to dictate how this is going. I'm just giving my opinion on things. I'd prefer the old Great Knight back. As far as animations are concerned, Dussel's largely unchanged. Null was made more defensive. I like that. It makes all three of the mage types a little more distinct. Dark mages are defensive. Then the other two are just basically the same. Cormac's fucking cracked. Jesus Christ. I think you could probably tool him down a little bit. Like, I think look to Heath for Cormac rather than looking to vanilla Cormac for Cormac. Because, like, those stats are a lot. I think Heath is balanced because you have to train him up a little bit to get him rolling. Ewan's fine. I'll be honest, any mage could have done what Ewan did. I just used Ewan because it was funny. I think the only kicker for Ewan is not actually something that Ewan has. It is... There are a lot of stat boosters in this game, and I can just buy bolting. This isn't vanilla... No, I know, but, like, you're looking to vanilla Cormag as a means of, like, you know, trending upwards. Look to Heath as someone who's a little behind the curve that you need to put effort in to train up. I didn't use La Rochelle, but I do like that I think staff XP has been increased, so she's a lot more usable. I also like that... I actually really like the 3-weapon choice that La Rochelle gives you after the Archer chapter. I think that's a really good touch that adds replayability. I think stuff like that... I think there should be more stuff like that. More decisions like, hey, here are unique items that you cannot get anywhere else. You have to just make a choice. She's still level 3, wasn't it 4? I think she was increased level-wise, but, like, let me put it this way. I only deployed her in Roston, and I got her to level 10, so it wasn't that difficult. I actually like that you differentiated between Renak and Colm, not giving Colm pick, but not giving Renak hide. It was a bit confusing at first because I just kind of assumed that all the rogues would have pick, but that was a good way to differentiate them. I didn't really use Garrick. You gave him rally move. I don't know if that's who I would give it to, but that's fine. Garrick is still like, hey, you can either promote me immediately or train me up, which both he and Cormag and Null share, which is fine for a game that has a sandbox element. Pethys is fine. If you're going to keep the rings, and you're going to try and ingratiate this as more of a Magvale hack, rename the rings. Also, I'm going to be honest, I never used the Foz Lullaby, but it didn't seem like it would be terribly... I can't think of a use case for it, where you'd want to spend your dancer turn attacking. Marissa was a unit that was retooled very strongly. Same with Ford. She was unsalvageable in base, so I understand the need for a change, but I think having a dodge tank that never gets HP is kind of... It's a bit too much. I think if you want to make her a dodge tank, that's fine. I would maybe... But I don't know. I think you can salvage the buckshot gimmick they were going for, but like... The enemies can't threaten her is the problem. Even without weapon triangle advantage, she just stacks a void to the point where it's not meaningful. I think you retool her growths and her bases a little bit. Like, Marissa should be a good combat unit, but I don't know. I'd have to look at the numbers specifically. Because, like, there are good 1-2 range swords in this that you can get. You can get the Wind Shear not too far after you get Marissa, and you could feasibly have a light brand at that point. Ephraim's Ephraim. I don't think there were too many meaningful changes. I like that Erica is more offensive. Because you get her at level 1, adding some reliability to her, like, upward potential is good. I also like that Sieglinde is 1-2 range. I think Sieglinde should be 1-2 range, but lesser might. Siegmund should just be 1 range, but like fucking Gigamight. That's it. Also, every Fire Emblem game should end with Finn. We should not be ending with the end. Alright? Okay, so we are gonna go chapter by chapter, just kind of look at things. So you're gonna have to forgive me. It sure was a Sacred Stones Reforged. I had fun with it. For better or for worse, I do think it was a fun experience. I'm glad I did it. I think evaluating the game as something to be consumed as like an Ember-esque rebalance is a little off. Look, I know people have mixed opinions on Project Ember. I do think by and large, especially in like the first half, a lot of the changes were surgical and meant to solve problems. Like, Ember has its problems, but by and large, I think it was focused on solving pain points that FE6 had, and I respect that. Okay, let me just... Next. Want another FE8 rebalance? I mean, I like rebalances. Rebalances are fun because they can... You basically learn from lessons that IS taught us and try to go back and see how it could potentially be applied to previous works. So... yes. Parts. Go. Okay. Will this automatically populate? Cool. FE8R and Lex Taliota. I'm sorry, there's a fucking Lex Redux of FE8 too? I played the FE7 one. Okay, also, I do like that, you know, I mean, this isn't exclusive to FE8 Reforged, but I like this exists. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're just gonna go chapter by chapter and kind of give thoughts on things. Okay, right off the bat, we start strong by adding a CG of Seth taking away Erica. I'm just gonna mash through this real quick. Didn't show that off, but like, the start is strong. I want to say the Walter Seth thing is also pretty slightly changed. Yeah, starting off with a CG is good. And then the Walter thing's fine. Yada, yada, yada. Take it easy, Ryan. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Walter. Okay, so... I like that Walter hits Seth with, like, something that the player does not see. You could feasibly use this as a way to nerf Seth. In an ideal world, I think you would have the prologue chapter being Erica and Seth escaping the castle rather than them just in a valley. Erica, Seth, and Franz. And, like, Seth can just stomp the chapter with a billion stats. He gets hit by Walter here, and then you see that his stats have just been cut down. That would be good storytelling for, like, Walter's Weird Lands thing. Okay, and we can skip this. Got a rapier. I think it's fine the rapier is unbreakable. So yada yada yada, that's fine. That's great. So, intentionally or not, I think it is likely that the player would put Seth here, put Erica here, because we know this guy doesn't move. So you would inadvertently have the means to activate Erica's skill. Okay. Other than that, there's not too much. There we go. Okay, but there's not too much here. I think Azure Twin Blade is not as, like, disgusting as I thought it would be. Okay. Things of note in Chapter 1. Houses give XP. I think it's a flat 10. It's a flat 10. So, this is good, though you're gonna have kind of like an engage moment where, hey, if XP is flat, you're just gonna give it to your highest leveled unit because it's the most efficient means of it, which is fine. It was never something that I needed to use because XP is not that stringent, but like, it's at least a good thing. Let's see. Here was the first time we encountered the weapon triangle. It matters, though. Seth still can invalidate this entire chapter. He is just too strong. And I don't mean like... Actually... Let me double check that changes weren't made. Okay, no, he was brought down a little bit. Yeah, 4-2-2. Well, he has a little extra defense. That's about it. But he still has 20 and 10, so... Yeah, he's still gonna, like, murder. He's still gonna murder everything in the early game, which... You know, I guess that's fine as a get-out-of-jail-free card, but... As a Jagan, Seth does not function. Then you get Gilliam and Franz. I'll enter in here. Why he doesn't have a Silver Lance? He doesn't have a Silver Lance because it's unbreakable. Seth's original Silver Lance was balanced by the fact that you only had 20 uses of it. The game is not going to give you an unbreakable Silver Lance this early. Granted, it would be very hard to get the weapon rank to use it, but You could feasibly, unless you cap weapon ranks in tier 1. Like, I don't know. If you can cap weapon ranks to, let's say C at tier 1, then that would solve the problem. Seth isn't a Jagan. I know Seth isn't a Jagan. I know Seth isn't, like, positioned as a Jagan. That being said, I do think as a unit, it is better to have someone that can help soften. If Seth also had a means of softening up units, like, again, Ember gave Marcus, like, a lance that increased his defenses, did diddly squat for damage, and weighed, like, a ton. So you wouldn't double, you wouldn't do a lot of damage, but you would be survivable. So it's a way to, like, soften up enemies. You're introduced to Franz and Gilliam. Franz is buffed up, so he's no longer completely invalidated by Seth, which, like, honestly, looking one for one, if Seth has the same growth he does, like, we're fine. Gilliam, I actually like the Draughts. I think forced aggro would be, if the game kept pace of difficulty all the way through, I think these would be more usable, or more useful, rather, because I did make use of, like, the rune staff and the Draughts a lot in the early game, because, like, I needed to pull aggro. I do still think this should be rarer than it is, because it is overriding enemy aggro. That's a lot. Other than that, Gilliam's Gilliam. I didn't have a lot of use for him. I do still think that you do need armored boots to justify Gilliam being, like, a person. They added the swift caps for people who wanted an early game movement booster. I still do think you'd need something that does not compete with the rest of your army if you want any chance of a player giving their armored units, like, movement. Give them toggleable mercy. That's a bit too much. And then yada, yada, yada. Okay, we go there, go there, go there, go there, get money. Okay, the rare skills. I like this in theory, but, like, throughout the game, it did not feel like... So, like, this dude drops Wrath. I don't feel like the skills that are dropped throughout the game make too much of a meaningful difference. Given how, like, this is still GBA Fire Emblem, and you do just kind of cut through enemies, a lot of the skills you get are just like, hey, they're seal skills. So, you know, if you want to soften up an enemy for someone else, that's fine, but, like, that's just not how GBA Fire Emblem tends to work. Enemies are not threatening enough as individuals that a bunch of, like, debilitating skills are super useful. Now, granted, this dude gives Wrath. You could very feasibly give Wrath to, like, no one here, actually. I was gonna say give it to, like, a Swordmaster who can use Adholma, and then, well, that's only one range. It's fine. Really, like, the units I would want to give Wrath to are... Honestly, Vanessa's the one that makes the most sense, and she would get bows on promotion. Anyway, Ross and Garcia, that's fine. Garcia is just normal Garcia. Ross is Ross. You have to talk about the elephant in the room, that being Warrior. It's a matter of taste, but I do think it is worth considering that a player playing this will see the Berserker map sprite and not initially think, yeah, that dude could have a bow. That's not a good thing. If you want to keep the battle sprite as, like, Berserker, that's up to you, but I do think you need to keep the map sprite as it is. Ross's promotions are Pirate Fighter, and then it's, like, Warrior Hero, Berserker Captain. I think the Pirate promotions are a bit off. I don't know how you'd fix it. Pirate Berserker makes sense because it's like Pirate then Dart Zerker. I don't know what else you'd get, because, like, it doesn't feel like Captain is a sensible promotion off of Pirate, which is, like, really non-defensive. Oh yeah, also FE7 music. Straight up, I don't think this is... I think that is a change for change's sake, and I guess that's just a neutral thing, but so much of FE, like, here's an example. If you were reduxing FE6, it would make sense to try and, you know, vary up the soundtrack a bit because Beneath a New Light is used way too often, but I don't think FE8 ever really has that problem. And like if it does, you could maybe use it for like 1 or 2 maps, but like this music is predominantly FE7. Sure, an option's fine, but like I think there's something to be said about an intended experience. Other than that, I think the pirate promotion tree needs a bit of reconsideration. I like Vanessa. I think Vanessa's well balanced. Genuinely, like, I think that I don't like Constitution, but I don't think it was ever so debilitating as to like be a huge issue. Tana has way too much con, so she can just ignore all of these. I think you could either like relook at Lance's a little bit or give Vanessa 1 extra point of con, but like that's just me. But 14 aid goes down. Yeah, no, you could. No, actually, you can't unless you nerf Garcia's. So that makes sense why you couldn't do that. Other than that, I like Mulder. I like that the tankier of the 2 healers has lived to serve. It wasn't that useful, and it's not going to be useful when he promotes all that much, but like, hey. Healer, this is interesting because, hey, the heal, mend, recover is only usable by primarily staff units. And I think others can just use cure, a shittier version of it. Problem is, this isn't like a game, or rather GB Fire Emblem is not a system that requires that you use heal staves a lot. I do like this. 1-2 range, that's great. I think Brave as a enemy phase Brave as a status is a lot. I think Avoid bonus is like probably a bit more reasonable, but yeah, Avoid and Brave, given the level of power in this game, is a bit much. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. What's in the armory? I like that armories are single. I like how we do armories here. An individual weapon matters more because there's a limited stock and you can't get it outside of the map. That's good. I still don't like that swords are like kind of shed early, but whatever. All right. Maybe change the staff from Brave to movement increase. Yeah, actually, you know what? A movement increase and Avoid would be a good way to do it. Yeah, double your damage for a turn is really powerful. Like, and it's D rank. Yeah, I don't think the Avoid bonus you get is that bad. I think that's not like super oppressive. Okay, yada yada yada. Chapter 3, is this Colm Namey? Yeah, okay. Right off the bat, I like the changes to the map. It looks more like a rundown bandit stronghold. Having holes instead of barrels is a good thing. Namey. So, here's the killer. Thanks to Solve, a lot of people have it in their mind that there is 3-range combat's a good thing. I have fun with this. I do, however, think that there probably needs to be some balancing factor. Now, granted, let me do this real quick. Close display on. My Namey got giga stat screwed for how much I used her. She just did not level up well. If my Namey could double, I could just invalidate certain enemies, especially when you get the longbow. I would say a couple things. On Lunatic or Hard and above, enemies should have 3-range tower shield, if that's a thing. That's just... If an enemy cannot retaliate at 3-range, they should not take damage at 3-range. You should have to, like, engage with the enemy. Maybe when attacking at 3-range, she can't double. Honestly, I think that's the most reasonable way to do it. I don't know if it's possible to code that in, but I think if Namey couldn't double at 3-range, even if my Namey was, like, not as stat screwed as she was, it would be a good balancing factor. Because then, like, okay, if you want to double at 3-range, use the longbow. Other than that, I actually really like this. Sure Shot occupies the same spot as, like, oh, I don't know, like the retooled weapon triangle for me, where I think it's kind of like extra damage in Fates, where it can just barely get you over the threshold of a kill, and that feels good. I like this. This needs to be slightly retooled, but like on its surface, I don't hate it because you don't have to deal with enemies having 3 range. It's just one player unit has 3 range. And Nami was nigh unsalvageably bad in FE8. I think this is a good change. I think some slight like tweaks would need to be made to it. Also, I like her portrait. It's changed just a little bit. Colm's not here yet, so we'll just like wait a turn. Free range is good for anti-juggernaut stuff as an enemy thing. You can give archers longbows, that's fine. I don't think I don't think archers or bows on their whole should have access to 3 range. That's just, it's too much. It tends to break map design. All right, Colm. This is potentially very strong for a unit that I can't see as gross, but like Colm has pretty good gross. I did not use Colm, but like he could very feasibly have occupied an even more oppressive niche as Marissa, given that like you can't Luna weapons you just can't like deal with, right? If this dude had no strength and was just utility, this would be fine. I didn't abuse it, but it could be a little much. Let's talk about hide. So it was retooled while I was playing it. Now it's Shadow Step. You have to attack and defeat an enemy to hide this unit. I don't think that's the way to go for a unit that's like not great at he's not a combat unit. He's a support unit. That's how he's retooled. I think reverting to vanilla hide with a turn cooldown is the best way to go about it. You can even make it like a 3-turn cooldown because then you have to be intelligent about when you hide. Do you combine that with a steal to be able to steal from safety? And then a rogue can either get a better hide or shadow step or something. Also, the Black Fangs, again, it's a bit much. Funny silencer dagger, good. Just generally good dagger with like that much might and crit, bad. Retool it because it feels more like a gimmick. Again, I did not abuse it. It seems very abusable. If I trained Colm, he would have been a monster. Other than that, I like that you can steal for full inventory. I like that you can steal and like do other things. By and large, the changes to Colm are good. I like that he has a shit-eating grin. I kind of understand why you changed his color scheme because it tracks more to how the thief sprite looks in this game, like battle sprite, where they're wearing a cloak. It still reads as Colm, sure, that's fine, whatever. It's an odd change, but I understand it. Other than that, this dude has a hand axe. You can just abuse him right off the bat because, hey, he can't move. Got some burglar. Oh, right, we get the burglar axe. Okay, so this game has a lot of stealables. I like that there is a weapon that allows you to interact with those enemies without being forced to use Colm. I think the weapon itself should suck more because ultimately you just have to have it in your inventory. You don't have to have it equipped or anything. It's kind of a hard thing to back. I think I don't know if it's possible to give the burglar axe a stat debuff like some of the held items. I think the burglar axe should just make you overall more of a liability in combat. Like, decrease your defense and resistance a little bit. Like, skill, defense, resistance a little bit, but like, let you steal. That way you can't just like throw it in an axe unit's inventory without pause. So like, you could still use Colm, and it would be less risky, but if you want to use an axe unit, they just have to take a slight penalty to their stats having it in their inventory. Yeah, and Ross and Garcia aren't exactly speedy, so it is usually a harder threshold to hit. And because Seth can't use axes, and like Ross could only use, or sorry, Franz could only use axes if he became a Great Knight, like, that works. I think the burglar axe was like a good accommodation for the amount of stealables in this game. Okay, I believe this is... Yep, okay, so we get preps early. That's nice. We get Arthur. Looking at Arthur, I like that we changed lightning to flash. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of these, but this just makes more sense if someone was playing this game without having played GBA Fire Emblem before. Flash makes more sense than lightning as like base light magic. Archer's fine. I like this. I genuinely think this is a good early game skill that I relied upon a couple times to like get me through. Looking at the map itself, there's nothing that was like particularly outstanding as far as I remember. I believe now you still get loot in here, which is good. Hang on, I'm gonna like... Stats. There we go, okay. We're just gonna get loot, so you get loot here now, hooray. I think if you were gonna change loot to come at a different chapter, you could have put her in the spider chapter, but it's fine here, so... I guess we can evaluate loot, because we never did in vanilla. Let me just check bases. 17. 2 extra magic, 1 extra dex, equals speed, 5 more luck. Oh, sorry, no, equals... Okay, hang on. 1 more HP, 2 more magic, 1 more dex, 1 more speed, equal luck, 1 more defense, 1 more res, and 1 more con. I don't feel like loot needed a buff, but like, in a hypothetical situation where the game gets harder at endgame, it could be warranted. You gotta change this. That's a lot. I mean, it's not as oppressive when you don't have like 12 The loot in the version I played was better than 100% gross loot. This is almost as good. I mean, it's only player phase, but like it's nearly as good as the like super people that you get on UN. I think a more fitting thing for loot would just give her like extra stats when fighting monsters. That's how I would change it personally. This is more universal, but like I think specialist design is more interesting than generalist design. Other than that, I mean, you rein loot in a little bit. She doesn't have the Shadow Tome. That's fine. I don't like FE8 skills unless it's the class skill. I kind of get that. I think personal skills were a good thing for Fire Emblem, but like working backwards, it can be a little tricky. This is great. I love this. You see La Rochelle because like, hey, you encounter her early and she gives like, that's a quirky thing to do. Hey, here, you can have 3 vague weapons. So the Light Brand, the Strength Taker Axe, or the Gale Force Bow. I don't think the Gale Force Bow is as... I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of utility out of it, but the fact that it is such a weak bow means that oftentimes you're not going to be able to use it to just, like, delete things with your Kinshi Knights. With, like, a sniper or a warrior, you have enough strength behind it to make it work. But it's counterbalanced by being a fairly weak bow. Blah, blah, blah. But before we depart, reward your gallantry of a gift. Yeah, the Crest Lance is... What was the Crest Lance again? Stormbow is broken, as is it caused some bugs. True, it caused issue. It stopped me from gaining a skill on defeating an enemy. I don't really know how you fix that, but like... Who knows? Maybe the Garish Axe could have also had that issue. Crest Lance... Oh, Garish oh, it's aptitude. Okay. Might grows tenfold. Okay, I thought it was strength taker, but actually... Okay, we'll do that. I want to check that out, because I was misunderstanding what I just was kind of reading the vague description. Strength taker seemed what it was, but... The Garish Axe improves units' growths. That feels like something meant for Ross. Granted, you can't use it right now, but like... let me see. Is it if it's equipped? Oh. Oh, that would have caused way more problems. Holy shit. Makes Garcia usable. More than usable. Okay, yeah, that's a lot. I think I'm only saying that's a lot because this game devolved into, like, Juggernaut Emblem a little bit, and being able to get more universal stats than someone like Ross probably would have helped, because, like, it's like plus 20... That would have gotten Ross to a 65% speed growth. I can't really weigh in on how much that would affect things, but, like, you saw how the game became very Juggernaut-y near the end. That could potentially present problems. That being said, I do still love that the choice exists. And Crestlance's is player phase Brave. Hot take, I don't think that Brave... Okay, 1, Brave needs to be A rank, and 2, Brave shouldn't... Well, I don't know. I do still think you should do Fate's Brave or something, or, like, have a variant of enemy phase Brave, because, like, Omni Brave is really, really strong. Granted, I didn't really need it because the enemies were too weak, but... Wyvern Amelia, Garish Axe, Lamau. Okay, this map was actually kind of tricky. Granted, I took my time, but honestly, like... No, granted, I did not use Seth. Ignore these, this is just here to let me, like, get to things, but... I like this. Okay, At a glance, I know it, like, maybe it's a me thing. At a glance, I did not take the veteran to, like, be like, oh yeah, that's just an armored class with extra move, sure. But, like, you give me the Armor Slayer, you say it's armored in there. I think it's decidedly a skill issue on my part there. Natasha not having a personal skill when Mulder does is weird. Right, Natasha. Natasha gets a... I think her quote-unquote personal skill is in the form of a unique promotion. Let's just start map. I like these enemies. I think that you could have more of them. They're like mini bosses. It's a good thing to have. Okay, Joshua. Joshua, I can't speak to how he'd be used anyway, but... Uncounterable, always critically strengths if it hits. Are you really gambling if, like, you're not risking a counterattack is the thing? Now, granted, gamble in, like, Path of Radiance fucking sucks and you'd never use it, but... I think the Killing Edge is fairly well balanced given that it has infinite uses. You can maybe take one extra might off of it, but that's partially just because Joshua's got big, hurty damage. Yes, because if you miss, you're likely fucked. I mean, that's assuming that you're, like, the only one doing it. It's fixed at 50 accuracy. Okay, so if you can't get above 50 with gross, I guess it's fine, yeah. It's a gimmick, but, like, then under that circumstance, it's fine. I was thinking that, like, hey, you could get to 50% and then buff it up with supports. Other than that, I think this is a fairly good chapter. It was difficult. I liked it. It forced me to use my resources. The reinforcement, like the cavalry reinforcements on Lunatic could probably be more like threatening to, it's hard because like Seth exists, but like they should be a, hey, you took too much time sort of deal. Other than that, I think this was a good chapter. I think most of the early game is very good and it's helped along by the universal changes. That was a tight spot. Yes, it was. Stats. Stats. Hit stats. Hit stats. Okay. I'm just doing this so I can get to the Gaiden, but like, I like the choice you have to make here. If you are quick, you get a Gaiden chapter that a double Gaiden, rather, that makes sense, because we get to see how the fuck did, like, Ephraim escape. That was a sensible chapter to add, and I like that it is optional to get. If you want to just take the circuitous route and get a bunch of XP, you can do so. If you want to rush the throne thanks to this now cracked wall, you can do so. Similar to, like, Ember, adding a cracked wall or a door can make a hell of a lot of difference. Unit-wise, you don't matter. You weren't meaningfully changed. Realistically, you were already good and you remain good. I think they did change you to be less speedy, more defensive. I was hoping that that would carry forth for promotion to make you more like a Great Knight, but no, you were speedy and Erica was pretty defensive too. Both you and Erica are very much all-rounders. I think pushing them into specialist roles would be a better fit. Kyle's more defensive. I know, again, these stats, just ignore them, but like, Kyle's more defensive, that's fine. Ford being a Chevalier, having like an alternate, essentially mounted warrior class. Ah, man. So, I don't love this. It feels too out of lockstep with like how Ford is depicted in most other versions. And mind you, just my opinion on things. I would probably lock Ford into some sort of like sword bow if you want to do that. Give him Vanilla Ranger or something. Have him either be a bow cav that promotes into like traditional ranger, or basically a nomad that will eventually get swords. One of the two. Because I think giving Ephraim's crew a dedicated like ranged unit user rounds them out a little better for this and the next chapter. I like that Ford is more, like, I thought that Vanilla Ford was fine, but you're trying to make specialist units. It seems like the units that were changed the most were the units that were kind of decried as being outright bad. I don't think Ford being bad was a bad thing. I think he was the only balanced Cavalier, really. But if you want to retool him to be more offensive, you can do so. That's fine. I don't think axes, bows. I don't think this line makes a lot of sense. Like, if anything, I think Kyle should be your axe. Like, I think Kyle should be axes. Ephraim should be lances. Ford should be either you just give him bows or you just give him swords, and you retool promotions such that his promotion is like Vanilla Ranger. Yeah, Kyle's the guy who can actually hold heavy things in Vanilla. He had con, so yeah, 10 con versus 11 con? No. Okay, yeah, that's changed, but that's probably base stats of Chevalier versus Cavalier. Yeah, this Ford just seems too different from Vanilla for my taste. In terms of calves, I find Franz, Lance, Kyle, Axis, Ford, Sword, Seth, God. I like... It's like the FE7 thing, where it's like, hey, we give everyone else, like... You give Kent Swords, Sane Lances, and Lowen Axes, and you're fine. That being said, you know, it makes Kent even worse, and it makes Elwood's squad way too filled with axes, but, like... I think diversity amongst units of the same class is a good thing. I have to actually like end this chapter the proper way to show the Gaiden and talk about that. I always give Kent access because he's the skill cav. Yes, but like Kent is introduced as like the dude who's teaching you like, hey, dumbass, use a sword. And Sane wants to use lances. It is harmonious with like their characterization for them to use those weapons. Gordon and Kyle really only have a 1 con difference in vanilla? All right. I thought it was greater than that. But it's usually because I end up making Kyle a Great Knight and Ford a Paladin, which exacerbates the issue. Okay, and we'll do you. This is a boss drop that I think is actually worthwhile. I think it's non-negligible. I think it has use cases beyond weakening units. Giving it to Ford makes him a lot more reliable, but you can also give it to Ephraim. Khan feels like it matters much more than it actually does. I mean, they're both like male cavaliers. They're basically the kings of Khan as far as this system is concerned. Okay, so I have to do this because you seize, you get out. I was very impressed by the addition of the next chapter. Also, this is a good CG to add. It's like, oh man, it's the showdown between Walter and Ephraim, but he runs. Except side quest. Sorry, ads. I'm still gonna keep yapping though, just for the sake of it. Unbroken heart, unbent will. I think that's fine. Hell, I even think this chapter is like more or less fine. It got a little dicey. Still don't like this. I mean, it's not relevant here because like, you know, only axes, but still don't like this. I think you could, honestly, this chapter feels like a little difficult in vanilla. Like, I think I had to use draughts and like, but that was mostly because of the wyverns and the fact that no one could reasonably deal with them. But like, it is an optional chapter. It can be more difficult. I think I'm just more willing to give kudos, except for the fact that this is just the Heinz map from FE7. Like, here's where they start. Here's the Pure Water house. Here's where Hector's house is. It's fine to use other maps as inspiration. Everyone uses the like Thracia escape chapter in ROM hacks. I do think you should probably try and make this a little more distinct as a map, but I like that the escape map exists. All in all, I think it is a good first swing. Some slight changes would make it more workable. Map design is hard. That is why it's just using an FE7 map. I do think that they should try and redesign it, though. Okay, victims of war. God, I'm hungry. Okay, yeah, visiting a district. Enter district. I know this was changed, so I'm going to show it off. Enter district, so... Okay, some vendors, yada yada yada. Okay, so I think... Okay, so you can choose not to recruit. My name is not important. What is that, like postal or something? Modest fee. Hire mysterious man. I don't think these are necessary, but it's just a me thing. I don't like the addition of characters that have no like prior involvement in the story. If you're gonna do this, I think it should be done in the service of giving FE8 a large enough cast to have an army split rather than a route split. I think it'd be a more okay fit then. But at least you can choose to decline. That dude's just Theodore from FE7 a little bit. Having some more that are optional isn't that bad. I agree, which is why I understand that it is just a me thing. I personally don't like it, but I think there is like merit to doing so. That being said, from what I have heard, sword trainee, which is what she is. She's the sword version of, like, Ross Amelia Ewan. Just gets Gale Force, which... we know how good that is. No, that you can ignore them all now. I'm more okay with it, right? Okay, I don't have Colm here, but like... I think one thing that's notable, I forget where you get it, but you do get a magic effective bow prior to this. Combined with like attack range +1, this boss just isn't a person. Like, I realized that I did not do well in this chapter as I went through it, but like giving you the Mage Slayer, I think it is, the bow's called. I want to say Mage Masher, but like give you that Mage Masher just kind of lets you dunk on this boss without much rhyme or reason. Oh yeah, also, you can't preview units before paying gold. That is something. I don't know if that's anything that you can fix on the district menu. That might just be a limitation, but worth considering. Mage Seeker, thank you. But like, otherwise, I think this is... I don't want to say it's a good chapter in vanilla. I like the sub-objective of having to protect or like save the villagers, but like you can't just rush the boss. I don't like Fog of War, but you have ample means to deal with it. It's just, I don't think it works in GBA Fire Emblem. But like, changing it would be against the spirit of it, so whatever. Okay, you get it from the Chapter 5 shop that has the Reavers, right? Yeah, I don't like this map. I like that you don't get an Orion's Bolt, and instead it's a Master Seal. That was a good change. Renval, okay. Hang on. So we're gonna let this cutscene play out because I remember there being a weird quirk last time. Somewhere inside this castle. Ah, okay, and you can also get Shatter in Chapter 5, good. Okay, and you get like the pseudo, this is the end of Lin mode, everyone gets to talk sort of deal. I don't like the music change here. I think this is way premature to play the Fire Emblem theme, and it's really jarring coming from like the previous music. Just let the previous music play through. I think the scene would play out a lot better. That being said, I do think that this is a worthy enough use of a CG. Oh, you know what? Colm must have I guess Colm's auto-recruited as long as he doesn't die. You don't actually need to recruit him mid-map. Yeah, okay, I didn't realize we had Colm. Okay, so now that loot doesn't come from up here and just like gib your energy ring dude, I think he's a little more reasonable. I like that the energy rings, like, the non-shitty version of stat boosters give less. Is there anything else here? Yeah, that's about it. Murray, that's fine. Honestly, you could have this dude be promoted, I think. Given that this is meant to be like, quote-unquote, the end of Erica route, in a sense. I think having this dude promote... Like, I know it's not the end because we have, like, the reunion inside, but... I'd say make this dude promoted. Other than that, it's fine. I kind of hate this entire stretch, though, but that's vanilla map design problems. I think the idea is that you get in here and you start bopping, but like, you have extra tools to get around things. You could put an archer up here, but like, I just don't like Ballista. This just feels oddly placed is all. Okay. More FE7 music. I don't like it. I like FE7. It feels like a weird use of its music. Okay, yada yada yada. It's a trap. Okay. I like that this dude guards the treasure chests. I don't like the design of this, but like, what do you do? It's vanilla. That there is a wall here is good. Much a fan. You have ample reason to use shatter here, which is good. You have a hammer at this point too. All in all, I don't think this is terrible. I think the deployment positions are a bit rough. But you have two routes you can go, which kind of solves the problem. So you can just send some to the left, some up. This is all in all a fine map. And this dude has great shield and heavy impact. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think heavy impact is a thing that like needs to exist, really. If enemies were more threatening, sure, but like, I think the skills that are given to the players could be reconsidered a little bit. Okay. And now you choose Erica E from route. I'm only going to comment on Erica route because that's what I played. And I think it's the better route. I still do think an army split's way better, but FEA just doesn't have the means to support it. Okay, you get Tana here next map. I'd be curious if Tana's changed at all, but just go little by little. Was the breakable wall really always there? Shit, alright, I don't remember then. Well, then I'm gonna have to retract my praise, but whatever. Okay, this dude, you get the wild feathers here. This is a crazy good item that I didn't even use to its fullest. It basically just let me dodge it because Marissa's defensive profile was not localized for defense and res. It just made her a nightmare. Let's see, where's Seth? There's Seth. Just deal with. You're off, cool. I'll just wait for Amelia to come because I need to do that. Tana! I can't remember how you were compared to last time. Maybe you were nerfed. Let's see. So this Tana compared to base, equal HP, 3 more strength, 3 more speed, 2 more con, 1 more res, or 1 less res. No, sorry, one more res. Yeah, that's it, basically. I think this Tana was nerfed a little bit. I think she had 12 strength before, but... like, Tana already started with 7 strength at level 4. I think you either make Tana, like, higher level... like, Tana is starting with... base Tana starts with 1 less strength than Ephraim. 10 strength is crazy for a level 4 unit. Either make her higher level, or you gotta nerf her to make her a harder unit to train. Which, if you don't want to do that, that's fine, but find a way to differentiate between Tana and Vanessa and, like, make it not as clear of a blowout. Let's see. I like that we are getting some promoted enemies. And there wasn't much else to talk about until we get to Amelia, so... I'll just do... where are you? There we go. We're gonna have to sit through this because I want to make a point about Amelia because, like, yeah, I did stupid stuff of Amelia, but, like, realistically, that can be done with near any unit. Like, especially given that I know how the Garish Axe works now, like... Amelia bullshit is not localized to Amelia. how buff are the promoted enemies? They're not that buff, but like I do remember them being kind of a bit of a struggle. Like this sniper is 15, 16, and 8. Like, he'll do damage to you. You have to consider him. The deck situation is insane. A little bit, because I think the change to how crits are calculated already solves the issue of tough enemies have low percent crits across the board. I think something worth doing for all... Oh, excuse me. I think it's worth doing for pretty much every unit here, but like... plot everyone's growths into like a Google Sheets. Calculate for class caps if they're applicable. And just like double check that units are not gonna like grossly overperform. Is it like a turn thing? Is it an area thing? What are we dealing with here? And I'm not meaning to like play this entire thing. I just want like Amelia to show up. There we go. Okay, Amelia, let's talk about it. This right here, she is 8 luck away from cap, which luck is not a stat that really matters that much, if I'm being honest. It usually has very little bearing on anything in combat unless you have very little or a lot of it. Like, FP8, avoid. And this is exacerbated by enemies not really having, like, any hit, but like... luck is half as impactful as speed when it comes to avoid. But like, that is just 22 flat avoid. Which, to be clear, like, she effectively has 0 speed. She just has 22 avoid. Which, you know, that's fine. But once she starts getting speed, you just get the issue of, you have a unit that can reliably hit, like, single-digit hit chances, especially when you're making use of proper triangle access. And that's not great. Also, this shouldn't exist. I get why it exists as a means to, like, make Amelia better, but... I think if you want to give Amelia a training weapon, you give her a one-range lance that has fire sweep. Can't double, can't be countered, doesn't have a lot of might, so it lets her get kills without risking herself, which I think is what the harpoon was serving to try and do. Other than that, like, Wyvern Amelia probably would have been even more disgusting. It's reasonable to make her a Wyvern, I guess, to maybe cut down on the number of cabs you have. Like, I don't hate that, because you really only have one base Wyvern in vanilla. Like, you can't make Tana and Vanessa Wyverns anymore, so in the context of this hack, I think Wyvern's fine. Other than that, I mean, making enemies more accurate would fix a lot of Amelia's problems, but like, she can just You can just become an unkillable stat god, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but you have to make the enemies account for that. Or give it durability. Certain weapons could have durability, and that would solve it. Okay, I don't love this map, but I don't love this map in vanilla. I think it's fine. I think it's probably a lot less exploitable when you don't have the double Axe Reaver. When you have double effective Axe Reaver, basically none of the brigands or fighters matter at all. Innis, you're probably fine. I just didn't use you enough to be able to say definitively. I don't love this. Garrick is a combat unit, and giving him something that would ultimately sacrifice his... Well, then again, you can rally and attack. But I guess it is... It's hard to say for certain how useful this would be, because like rally move is very impactful. It's just a weird choice to put on a unit like Garrick. I still think I would maybe add the +1 move onto haste, remove a brave effect, and give Garrick something else. Pathis, just kind of rename these to make it fit better within FE8. I don't think this does anything, but like whatever, that's fine. And Marissa's stupid. No, like I'm okay with Marissa being the avoid swordmaster. I think that is a meaningful niche. But avoid stacking is too powerful in this game, and you can just kind of give her strength for wild feathers you got last chapter, and she has 15 strength, a decent weapon. She'll just snowball. I think maybe, and mind you, again, these are just my opinions. I think maybe try and play her a little straighter, and then go off of a non-Barth Myrmidon, an HP Barth Myrmidon that's meant to be like avoid stacking. Like, I don't know, have it be like, well, honestly, if you compare skill, it's basically the same thing, but... You could have Duelist Blow, I guess, or you could have something that, like, compares stats or something. I just think this is a unit that is a bit too much of a gimmick unit, and I guess that's fine. Being a gimmick is better than being unsalvageable, so that's like a weird complaint to have, but... Eh. Her base health is high because she has no growth. I think you make a Marissa, like, give her Giga offenses and good avoid, but give her shit HP. I think this is a far more interesting unit if she is a proper glass cannon. Not just glass, but like a glass cannon. But that means you probably gotta like shave off 5 points of HP and like give her a normal growth. Okay. Creeping Darkness. Like, a lot of this, I'll just have opinions on units because the maps were not meaningfully changed. Pablo is also just someone that can be cheesed out. I don't really love this map, but it's Fog of War, and I don't like Fog of War maps, so it's just on me. This is about as vanilla as can be. I like that these guys don't attack La Rochelle. I don't know if that's a vanilla thing, but like, if it's not, that was a good addition to change so she just doesn't walk over here and get herself killed. That's it. I have no real, like, other thoughts. Dazla is better. La Rochelle is likely more usable. I have no complaints about either, save for the animation on Dazla. I think this is a good change. I think the aesthetic change here to use like the icy Ilia terrain makes sense because we're high up in the mountains. And it gives a bit of visual variety. This is good. I like this path through the mountains. again, giving your army like multiple directions by which to engage the foe makes the deployment feel more meaningful. You get you in here, who cares? This is otherwise like a pretty forgettable-ish chapter, but like, it works. I think any issues I'm gonna have with it are gonna be exacerbated by like, hey, we just will start outstatting the enemy and can just run them through. And like, that's the thing. It was around here that I'm like, yeah, we'll just give Tana a bunch of res and then she'll just like enemy phase a bunch of shit. The Muth Doogs, excuse me, are like, they're threatening. I think they could be utilized more in monster comps. That's about it. I don't have too many bad things to say about this map. I think the changes were largely for the best. Okay, Hamel Canyon. Well, actually, let me double check that I don't need to run over and... Oh, no, Dan's home. Okay, we're good. Brother's dead, yada yada. Oh, right, you know what? I skipped a scene, but there was a CG added between Valter and Glenn, or rather, like, Glenn's corpse and Valter, like, lording over it. That was a good addition. I think all of the CG choices were well done and well executed. Okay, survive map. This map is good in vanilla. This map is good here. What I want to know is, and I will find this out. Do this real quick. I want to see if killing the boss before Pablo arrives ends the chapter, because that would... Okay, and... I think I would actually like this more if it forced you to... One, it didn't let you end the map before Cormag arrived, and two, forced you to engage with Pablo. I think tying Pablo's sudden arrival to either a turn count or you killing Ias is a good thing. Like, have it be one or the other. Either, I think it's like turn 8 or whenever you kill the first boss. Just like vanilla. Yeah, but like, I waited for Pablo before, so I just wanted to make sure it was the case. Groth, the portrait's interesting. It's a bit out there wacky, but like, whatever. This next map sucks, and I don't really know how you salvage it. Actually, no, I have some ideas as to how you can salvage it. Alright, I maxed out everyone. Teehee. Yeah, I just did this to make it a little easier to see, but... I think Shahana Castle could have some map design changes made that make it a little less obnoxious to deal with. And some changes to units' starting location. Alright, I have to go through this. I have to go through this before I can get there. Okay, you get Renak here, that's fine. Change your deployment to where
Some slots are closer to this door. Some slots are closer to this door. Make this room either less, like, make this more than a one tile, so expand the map southward or like move this upwards a little bit. Make it so there's not like 2 or 3 dead turns before you can get in here. And honestly, I would put a door here too. I put a door here and like, maybe like, I don't know, maybe a door like, I don't know. It feels, this feels very circuitous. It's very GBA in its map design, but like, it's winding in a way that will result in a lot of dead turns. This is a map that could absolutely have some small intelligent tweaks made to make it a little more useful. Other than that, I mean, you get the wind shear. This is when you start getting 1-2 range swords. This is well enough, well and good enough, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Got on Halma. Now I guess we talk about the changes to the Sacred Twins. I think it's fine that they don't have durability. They're S-rank weapons, so they can be good. I think neither Excalibur nor Adhalma are overbearing. Okay, hang on. On 15 Scorched Sand, time for some praise. So if you use Joshua and you promoted him, he would have a unique promotion of Savant, which is basically an armored swordie that is specifically stated to be like of Jahana. So they're not slowed down by sand. This is a good addition. Another good addition is that, hey, you're only fighting Kellic here, which makes sense because he's Joshua's rival. You have another chapter for Volter. You gotta put something more threatening than just like a Seraph Knight here. You need like a bulky enemy that you have to go out and kind of chip down. Either that or you add more offensive units up here. Because this kind of, without Kellic up here and like Volter down there, this feels like wasted space in the map. Other than that, I like what we did to Null. There wasn't much change to Dusel. Maybe fix the Gale Force bow bug if you can. That's about it. All in all, this map has more good than it has bad. It has 2 very distinct changes that make the map better, from both a narrative and a gameplay perspective. Gleipnir, I can't really speak on it. Realistically, you already have enough power to just murder everything. Garm, I think, is interesting enough. But it gives you Swordbreaker. Beyond Escape. They added a Volter map here. I think, again, good change. Very, very good change. The map itself, I remember having a few issues. So the reinforcements in the back need to be more aggressive when they spawn. Volter either needs to move to hunt you down, or everything around him would be linked AI. You should not be able... This man has Pierce and is a hunter. He shouldn't just stay there waiting to die. Also, as much as I hate Ballista, if you're gonna have a Ballista here, like, let the sniper use it. Otherwise, it's just kind of wasted space. That's it. Largely positive, a few small tweaks to make this a really good map. Okay, Ruled by Madness. I think this is around the time that I started like, okay, I don't have to interact with the game anymore because Amelia's tier 2 and just deletes everything. This is a case of, hey, you need to have another way to enter here, because like having to funnel through this into here, I had way more fun when I was able to just throw Amelia in here and just aggro everything right off the bat. This is a map that could be redesigned to be more fun. I appreciate that like some of the bullshit up here was reined in. It's not oppressive. Small change to map design would help. I like to get another 1-2 range sword. This is good. God, I really need to pee. We're gonna speed through this because I need to pee. And yay, they can promote. No. Oh, nice. Okay, so their portraits are indeed tied to promoting. I like that their portraits changed too. Siegmund. Siegmund and Sieglind are a bit much. Sieglind, I have less issue with because Erica needed the boost more. I think if we're going to be 1-2 range and effective against monsters, tone down their might a little bit. Holy dooly, alright. Okay, let's... I'm full of tea. I'm full of tea and opinions on strategy games. Okay, it's hard to have a meaningful discussion about this chapter because the enemies are... You can outstat them to the point where they just aren't a problem. Like, if I'm scrolling through, you're seeing that, like, the highest dex is, like, 13 or 14. They just can't fucking hit me. If I am on terrain with any amount of advantage, they're not doing shit. Other than that, I don't have too many opinions. All right, let's go. Oh, boy. That's great. That's great. Nidhogg is basically just the Innis bow. It's fine. Vidofnir. I think a lesser Vidofnir is what you would give trainee Amelia to let you, like, you know, train her. You get some Junifruit, which is nice. Holy. This map is ass. I got nothing. It's iconic, but, like, it's pretty bad. If you have high move units, you just don't have to interact with a lot of this map. That's all it is. Make the eggs hatch faster, have them be more, like, initial spawns. This is a good addition. I like the little laugh. Good job. Last hope. This actually had some good changes to it. Green units are threatening. The enemies are, like, promoted and stand a bit of a chance. You've got this guy able to help you out, which is nice. There are treasure chests to get. But, like, the enemies just aren't threatening enough. That's all it is. Okay, and then we get Evaldi, and Evaldi sucks. Give it Darting Blow instead of, like, Death Blow or whatever. Latona's Latona. At least you can use it. And we went over the rest of it. Great. All right, straight up. I am full of tea. Because we went over Darkling Woods and we went over Endgame today. The Dead Lords are not threatening enough in Darkling Woods, and you can just outstat everything. I just didn't engage with Endgame, so I'm not going to speak on it. You should not get a Luna Lance, or at the very least, the Demon King should not be susceptible to it. All right, great. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I gotta pee, dude. Holy shit. Hey, we might be live tomorrow. Check the Discord to know exactly when we are. But yeah, I've been me. You've been you. I'm full of like 3 gallons of tea. I gotta go. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye-bye.